Considering all the glitz, glam, fame, money, and power, people tend to forget that celebrities are just as human as the next person. With that humanity comes a propensity to make some very human errors. Sometimes those human errors include some level of misguided action, violence, and in some cases, fatal events. Today, I have a list of 6 celebrities and the mistakes that may forever leave a stain on their esteemed reputation. Which star broke into their significant other's home and accosted a house guest? Which celebrity spent years in prison for an incident involving a gun and a missing $3,000? Stay tuned to find out. But first, welcome to Creepycasettiyt, your place for horror in reality and beyond. I'm your host, Dee, and if you like this sort of content, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you'll know every time I drop another video. And if you have your own suggestions for more videos just like this or any other creepy topic you'd like to talk about, please let me know in the comments below. Now let's get back to it. Number 6, Will Smith. Considering the recent Oscars incident, let's just go ahead and get this one out of the way. You might be surprised to know that the Oscars fiasco was not his first violent encounter. In 1989, at the age of 20, while still in his home state of Pennsylvania, Will Smith and his bodyguard at the time got into an altercation with record promoter William Hendricks. Allegedly, Smith advised his bodyguard Charles Alston to attack Hendricks. The attack ended with the man having to get 6 stitches to his left eye orbit and nearly going blind. Will Smith was charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, criminal conspiracy, and endangering another person. Smith spent a night in the West Philadelphia jail, being woken up all night to sign autographs by his fellow cellmates. The incident came on the tail of Will Smith and DJ JayZ Jeff's Grammy win. The charges were eventually dropped. Number 5. Courtney Love. Lead singer of alternative rock band Hole and wife of the late Kurt Cobain, has had a notoriously rocky history of drug abuse and aggressive behavior. On April 25, 2004, the singer showed up unannounced to the home of her ex-boyfriend/ex-manager, Jim Barber. Upon entering the home, Love found Kristen King on Barber's couch. Love became enraged and reportedly chased the woman around the living room and threw a bottle at her head, as well as hitting her with a metal flashlight. Love was arrested and her bail was increased from $30,000 to $55,000 because this incident took place while she was already out on bail for another altercation from March of the same year. Love was performing at a concert when she allegedly hit an audience member in the head with the mic stand. The man reportedly had to have some stitches. Love was charged for assault with a deadly weapon for the incident. She pled no contest to have the charges dropped to assault and was sentenced to 3 years probation, anger management, and random drug testing. Number 4, JayZ. JayZ, whose real name is Sean Corey Carter, is a music legend and mogul. The entrepreneur is no stranger to confrontation, having grown up in Brooklyn housing projects and even resorting to dealing in his early career. So it was a call to the struggles of his former life when he and Lance Rivera crossed paths on December 3rd, 1999. The two were attending an industry party promoting artist Q-Tip. It's not clear what caused the violent incident, but what we do know is that JayZ slashed the record exec's abdomen and stabbed him in the back multiple times. He wasn't initially arrested for the altercation, however, he did turn himself in to the NYPD and he was charged with felony assault in the 2nd degree, which carries a term of 15 years in prison. He was bailed out for $50,000 and later pled guilty and served 3 years of probation for the ordeal. Number 3, Remy Ma. Reminisce Smith, artistically known as Remy Ma, is a rapper with numerous accolades under her belt, winning multiple BET Awards, 2 Vibe Awards, and boasting multiple Grammy nominations. Unfortunately, for 6 years, her career was stalled following her conviction for a 2007 shooting. The rapper and member of her entourage, Makita Barnes, got into an altercation on July 14, 2007. The two women were attending the birthday party of a mutual friend at a club in the Meatpacking district of New York City. Reportedly, Remy left her purse with Makita while she went to the bathroom. When she returned, $3,000 was missing from her handbag. When Remy saw the missing money, she demanded that Makita hand over her purse to see if the money was in it. Makita refused, and later the two just left the venue. While Makita was sitting outside the club in her car, Remy pulls up next to her, got out of her own car and into Makita's, where she held the woman at gunpoint while she attempted to search her bag. Another struggle ensued over the purse, and the gun went off, shooting Makita in the stomach and leaving holes in her colon and rectum. Allegedly, following the incident, Remy still checked the woman's purse and then got out of the car and into a taxi, leaving her own vehicle behind. She was arrested the next day and bonded out on $250,000 bail. After a 2-week trial, she was convicted of assault, weapon possession, and coercion. She was initially sentenced to 8 years in prison and only served 6. Number 2, Lane Garrison. In December 2006, Lane Garrison, actor that played Tweener in the show Prison Break, was implicated in the accidental death of a 17-year-old. The actor was in Los Angeles when he met up with some teenage fans at a grocery store. Garrison, 2 15-year-old girls, and a 17-year-old boy were riding Garrison's Land Rover to a party thrown by friends of the teens. Garrison ended up crashing the car into a tree. He had a blood alcohol level of 0.20%, which is more than double the legal limit of 0.08, and traces of cocaine were also found in his system. The 2 15-year-olds were alive but injured, and Garrison pled guilty to vehicular manslaughter, drunken driving, and a misdemeanor count of giving alcohol to a minor. He was sentenced to 4 months in prison. Number 1, Suge Knight. Suge Knight, whose real name is Marion Knight Jr., is an ex-NFL player with LA Rams and CEO of Death Row Records. He is responsible for launching the careers of big-name rappers such as Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg. The man is also notorious for having a flaming temper. He spent multiple stints in jail for assault charges and parole violations, but the most notable event is the one for which he is currently serving a 28-year sentence. That incident involved Suge Knight running his car into Terry Carter, co-founder of Heavyweight Records, and his friend and actor-director Clee Sloan. Knight showed up at the set of Straight Outta Compton to air his grievances about the lack of compensation for using his likeness in the movie. The argument got heated, and he was asked to leave the set. Sloan followed Knight out to talk to him, resulting in a verbal altercation that escalated. Carter died from injuries sustained in the incident, and Sloan lived but received severe injuries to his head and foot. Knight pled no contest to voluntary manslaughter, and he was sentenced to 22 years for the charge of manslaughter and another 6 years since this was his 3rd parole violation. The human experience is one that comes with consistent mistakes and learning opportunities. While it's easy for us to forget that celebrities are still very much human, they are just humans who have the misfortune of having all of their errors aired out in the limelight and placed under a microscope for the world to judge. Tell me in the comments below if there are any actors that I missed on this list, and maybe I'll do a part 2. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next video. Take care all.